Do you keep telling yourself that you're going to work on your creative project after work? Well, you're just like many corporate creatives who think that the evening time is creative time. But for a lot, that's not true. By the time they've gotten home from work, they're exhausted, drained, tired, and they've got nothing left. Let me tell you about Jamie. He's a marketing manager for a pharmaceutical company by day, and at night he loves jazz piano. And his thing is getting home 6 o'clock, thinking that he's going to continue writing in the style of Bill Evans, these cool jazz compositions. You should hear him play the piano. It's pretty stunning. But by the time he's home, his hands are tired from writing corporate compliant marketing spiel, and his head's so full of corporate talk from days on Zooms with, people from all over the globe that he's just got nothing left. He's drained, he's flat, and his projects sit gathering dust for sometimes months on time. And actually lots of them are sitting there completely unfinished. So what's the problem? For a lot of us creative people, our energy peaks at different times throughout the day. And it's not just about how much time do I have, but how much energy and how do I effectively use it. Like, you probably have a good understanding if you're a morning person, an afternoon person, or an evening person. And any of those can easily get filled up with plenty of activities, especially if you've got a 9-to-5 job where you've got to show up. I totally get that by 6 o'clock you've made hundreds of decisions, lots and lots of interactions, whether it's email or Slack or in person in the office. And by the time you get home, it's hard to just figure out what you're going to have for dinner. Never mind what steps you'll take towards your next creative project and how you're going to move that forward. Creative work requires fresh energy and enthusiasm and motivation to make it happen and for you to feel like you can get into a flow. So when you're tired and drained, it's not like really optimal. Now, I think a lot of people kind of build a practice where they're able to keep working on it. That's super helpful. But if you're not getting into that flow, it doesn't have the same sort of fun feeling. And I think a lot of us want to do our work and have it feel light and fun and refreshing and restorative and not just another job we've got to tick off. And to be fair, often our evening brains just want to sit down on the couch and watch Netflix. That's totally fine. It's not ready for composition or writing, whatever your step is in your process. But why does this keep happening? I think we've romanticized the idea of the tortured artist working late into the night, or we've heard stories of Tarantino smashing out a script. And there's even a famous story about Sylvester Stallone typing up the first Rocky movie in one night to get it to the people who needed to see it. Guilt makes us promise that the evening sessions that never happen tonight, and then we build up this resistance to working in the evenings, and it just becomes harder and harder to get going and to get into a routine. And that's totally normal. So what actually works? Here are 4 suggestions that I've used and have suggested to great success for the people that I work with. So first off, try micro sessions in the morning. So even just 15 minutes. That might mean you need to get up a little bit earlier, spend a little less time in the shower, maybe get out of bed without scrolling on your phone, and find some time. And it doesn't have to be the exact creative thing that you're working on. Even writing in your journal or reading a book that's going to inspire your creativity is a good start. If it's something that maybe you sketch or draw, maybe that's something you're able to do in a small space, you can try that. Another thing is, like, our lunch breaks. They're a key spot where we can get in and find a little bit of time. Yeah, maybe you have lunch with your team, you talk to people, but if you're working remotely and you're able to flex a little bit, find a window for you to try something out. And maybe it's an experiment. Even just try it for a week or 2. Experiment and see what can you get done in that space of time. It doesn't have to be that you're going to tick off a big list, but just how much fun could you have in 20 or 30 minutes while other people are having their lunch break and you're noodling on your guitar or like typing on your typewriter, some thoughts or ideas or character development or whatever that would look like. For me, 2 other really high priority times are Saturday and Sunday morning. Do what you can to carve out a little window there for yourself. Same again, that might mean not lying around in bed till 9 or 10 and actually getting up, quick cup of coffee, and get on with finding some space there for you to get on with that creative thing that's going to still fill you up with energy and like set you on fire and have you excited about your work again. Try it. It's going to work. And the final suggestion is try a small energy audit. Now, this, you can just make a new note on your phone or just grab yourself a little notepad or a sticky note, and every evening when you go to bed, just take a note of when you were kind of most energetic throughout the day. And you'll know you were energetic because you either see stuff around the house and you go, oh, I should hoover, I should empty the dishwasher, I should put out the washing, let's get that done. Whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to be that you point that energy at your creativity, maybe, but just to be able to note that over a week and kind of maybe see some patterns. Maybe think, maybe that's a better time for me to be thinking about it as opposed to it always being in the evening after work. So have a think about that, give it a shot. And I've got one other thing that you can do, a practical thing. Over the past couple of weeks and months, I have been thinking about this idea of how people get their projects done. And I've created an assessment to help you figure out what your creative finisher type you are. Whether you get stuck in the middle, whether you're a finisher in training, or whether you just really have this massive block and you can't get through it. There's a link in the description, and if you just go to my website, there's a little section called quiz. Click on there. It's 10 easy multi-choice questions. I promise it takes 2 minutes. And I will get back to you with your own personalized video with recommendations for your type within 24 hours. So you can have a really solid idea of 2 or 3 things that you can work on specifically for the type of finisher that you are. And for a lot of people, that's been resonating and helping them to find ways to move forward. Fill that in and I'll get straight back to you. Okay. The next thing you could do is, one, not watch any more Netflix, but if you really want to, YouTube's going to suggest another video for you here. All right, stay creative. I hope you get around to some of your work, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks.